You ever look at a company and just wonder what really makes them tick? I mean, beyond all the flashy marketing and the mission statements they hang on the wall, every company has a core operating system, a philosophy that drives everything they do. And today, we're going to be detectives. We're going to decode that system and figure out what a company truly cares about.
And look, this isn't just some business school thought experiment. The answer to this question hits your wallet, it impacts your career, and it affects the products you use every single day. So before you hand over your money, your time, or your trust, how do you really truly know what's driving the decisions being made behind that corporate curtain?
All right, let's get right into it. It turns out most companies, whether they say it out loud or not, pretty much run on one of two core philosophies. Our job today is to unmask those philosophies and see what's really going on.
Okay, at the highest level, it all boils down to this really simple but incredibly important divide. On one side, you've got companies laser-focused on their shareholders. For them, the goal is crystal clear: make as much money as possible for investors. And that often means being obsessed with short-term quarterly results. Then, you've got the other side, customer-focused companies. Their goal is totally different. It's about creating long-term, sustainable value by making their customers incredibly happy and building relationships that actually last. These are two very, very different paths. So let's start our investigation with that first profile, the shareholder value model. You can think of this as the classic follow the money approach, where financial performance is king. So what even is shareholder value? Well, it's pretty straightforward. It's the cold, hard financial benefit that investors get from putting their money into a company. We're talking about the stock price going up, getting those dividend checks, and seeing strong profits. It's a very tangible, very measurable return on their investment. And you can see this philosophy in action pretty clearly. A company like this makes its big decisions based on one question: will this boost the share price? There's this relentless pressure to perform well every single quarter. Success gets measured by financial jargon like earnings per share. And, this can lead to some pretty aggressive moves to make sure they hit those numbers. So, you're the detective now. What clues should you be on the lookout for? Well, these are the big red flags. Watch out for really aggressive cost cutting, especially when it starts to hurt the quality of the product or the service. Another huge one is seeing very little money going into research and development. And definitely keep a sharp eye out for frequent layoffs or those price hikes that seem totally random and make customers furious. These are all the telltale signs that short-term profit is priority number one. Okay, let's flip the coin and check out the other model, the customer-focused approach. And this isn't just about being friendly or having good slogans. It's a very deliberate strategy for building a company that's meant to last for the long haul. The idea here is actually pretty simple, but it is so powerful. A customer-focused organization puts the needs, the wants, and the happiness of its customers at the absolute center of everything it does. The core belief is that if you do that, you're not just making a sale today, you're actually building a solid foundation for sustainable value for years and years to come. So, how does this actually work in the real world? Well, it creates this amazing positive cycle. First, you give people an incredible experience. That creates loyalty, which means they come back and they tell their friends. Second, you actually listen to your customers. And those insights, they fuel real, meaningful innovation in your products. And third, all of this together builds a rock-solid reputation based on trust and quality. You want a perfect example of this? Zappos. They weren't just selling shoes, right? They were selling an experience. Their entire brand was built on just going completely above and beyond for their customers. And that relentless obsession with service, it became their most powerful marketing tool. It was their ultimate competitive advantage. Okay, so now we have our two main profiles, the shareholder-focused company and the customer-focused company. Now comes the fun part. How do you, the investigator, go out into the world and find the actual hard evidence to tell which is which? Let's get into the toolkit. We're going to break this down into 4 key areas to investigate. First, you're going to look at what they say officially, their mission statements and all that. Second, you'll watch how they actually talk to people, on social media and customer service. Third, and this is a big one, you're going to dig into their financial reports. And finally, you're going to look at their internal incentives to see what they really pay their people to do. Now let's talk about those financial clues. And don't worry, you don't need to be a Wall Street analyst here. The logic is pretty simple. A shareholder-focused company might chase a super high return on equity, which is just a fancy way of saying they're squeezing a ton of profit out of every dollar invested. On the other hand, a customer-focused company often gives itself away with consistent, steady investment in R&D year after year. That's a huge sign they're playing the long game and betting on innovation. Honestly, this might be the ultimate clue. If you really want to know what a company values, just look at how they pay their employees. Are the big executive bonuses tied to hitting a quarterly profit number no matter what? Or are they linked to things like customer satisfaction scores and keeping customers for a long time? That compensation plan is basically a roadmap that points you directly to a company's true north. Okay, you've gathered the evidence, you've analyzed the clues. So, now what? The final step is taking everything you've learned and making a decision that's actually right for you. So here's a quick and easy framework for you. First, just ask yourself, do their priorities line up with my own personal values? Second, think about it. Is this company built to last, or is it just trying to score a quick win? And finally, you gotta identify the risks. What are the potential downsides of their approach for you, whether you're thinking of investing, working there, or just buying their stuff?
And this is so, so important to remember. The point of all this isn't to slap a good or bad label on a company. I mean, both models can be successful. The real goal is to understand a company's core operating system and then decide if it's compatible with your operating system.
So, we'll leave you with this one last thought to chew on. In the world we live in today, which is so competitive and so transparent, those lines between shareholder and customer focus are getting really blurry. The most successful companies are figuring out that the best way to create long-term shareholder value is by creating incredible customer value first. Which kind of begs the question, in this day and age, can any company truly afford to pick just one?